Undivided attention. First, can you hear me? Okay.
Oh, down to the left.
Introduce our retired Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, Neil O'Connell, who is going to do our colors. Thank you, Lefty. All right, on back. OTL, you know the drill. Take them off. Get your hand over your heart. How about you guys out back there? You can hear me. Let's get with the program. All right.
Semper Fi, Marine.
Semper Fi, Mike Curren. God bless.
Semper Fi.
Color detail. Colors.
That's how it's always been. I swear the only difference between you and me is that I tend to let myself down. And that's okay.
Thank you. Lefty, back to you, my friend.
Yeah.
Jesse wants more.
Okay, you know why we're all here. We're sad. We knew this day was coming. He outlived a lot of people, but we get a little choked up on this one, but he's pissed that we're doing this. I know that for sure. He's already threatened me before he left, but he's not here, so fine. But Mike always tell people, I'm not going to your funeral or celebration of life because you're not coming to mine because I'm not having one. Well, we got him. Yeah, we got him. So honored to put this together. The family's going to speak. We're going to have a toast. We're going to give him a salute. But the most important, remember there was only one Mike Curren, and that's the sad story. Because he was all of ours hero. He led by example. He made us feel great all the time we saw him, and it wasn't bullshit. And in the words of Mike Curren, he would say, "Tell the sap thank you." And he was good at that. So I'm going to start off with Amy Curren. His daughter would like to say a few words. Amy?
Yeah.
Hi, can you hear me okay? As Lefty said, I'm Mike's daughter, Amy. I have a script, so in case I just lose it a little bit, sorry. When I was in high school, my dad said to me, he said, "Amy, when it comes time for you to get married, just make sure you don't do it on an OTL weekend because I won't be there." My brother Jamie and I, we were part of the Over the Line tournament on back events since we were really young. And the farthest back I can remember, it was about 1965. And when the tournament was held on the ocean side in South Mission, and back then it seemed like all the team names were clean. It was a family affair with no BBBB restrictions. There were bikes, bottles, babies, and Bowsers all over the beach. And booze, there was lots of it.
Right.
And in the afternoons, we'd watch as the paddy wagon would roll down the beach and pick up the drunks and the belligerents, or the dog catcher would pick up a stray dog or two. And at that time, the bracket board consisted of hand-drafted brackets stapled to a piece of plywood propped up in the sand, and my dad monitored it, perched up on a wood ladder. Then OTL moved to Mariners Point as OTL team numbers expanded, ushering in women and aging players, and the women's with the women's and the century divisions. There was only one hot dog stand, managed by Grant Simpkins and Chuck Millenbaugh, and staffed by OMBAC members' kids, including myself, with payment of all the hot dogs and the Cokes one could consume in a single day. Then once the tournament expanded further and moved to Fiesta Island, my dad's beloved bracket board earned a permanent presence built of steel with concrete footings here in Fiesta Island, a place where he tirelessly but happily staffed every year. My brother, Jamie, often called him the camel because he could go most of the day without food or water. But if he had a BC in his hand, he was good to go. And in middle school, I played and won the junior OTL when we were sponsored by my Uncle Terry's restaurant in Pacific Beach. We were the Molly McGuire's. And then when I, when I got older and graduated to the, quote, big tournament, my dad would most often schedule my team to play on the court right there, court 21, which was horrifying and terrifying for me, because masses of people would crowd around the court, and not because they wanted to see my team, but because that's where most of the action was happening. But for my dad, it allowed him to not only man the bracket board, but at the same time watch his daughter play. And I think some of his favorite times of the year, besides the actual tournament, and perhaps opening day at the racetrack,
Yeah.
were before the internet, when OTL signups were at the Comer, which was basically a day-long party, and also evenings spent working up the bracket boards at his or Ron LaPolice's house. So I could go on all night and all day with my Curren stories, but what I want to close with is acknowledging OMBAC, OTL, and all the camaraderie that goes along with it. Which brought my dad a long, long lifetime of joy and laughter, and a legacy I know he was proud of, and that I'm certainly proud of too. Thank you to all the OMBAC members, family, and friends who enriched his life over the many years. Cheers to my dad.
I'm Terry Curren, the youngest of three brothers. Until over a 3-week period, I was his only child. I'd like to introduce some of the rest of the family here. Jamie, my son, my daughter Julie, my granddaughter Sarah, my son David, and you know Duffy, she'll be up here in a moment. I want to go back to some of the basics, how we happen to be here. I don't know if...
There we go.
Sorry about that. I don't know if you really know where Old Mission Beach was and where we started. So I'm going to give you a brief history lesson. We started at the beach, what we called Old Mission Beach. Basically, Ensenada Court and the ocean front. If you know, no, excuse me, misspoke, Redondo Court. And if you knew where Saska's was, it was right up from the beach there. Kids from all over the county, all the high schools, came to the beach at the same spot. So we became pals with these folks from all over the city. Obviously, without Mike, we wouldn't be here today. In the late 1940s and 50s,
The game of choice on the beach was volleyball. And there were several volleyball tournaments on Southern California beaches. But the elitists on the LA beaches didn't want our guys to play. So they created a rule that says only players from an athletic club can join in. No problem. The birth of Ombak, Mike made it happen. Since we only had one single volleyball court at Old Mission, there was a lot of downtime waiting to play. As a diversion, overline was created. We played on the shoreline with wet shiny sand as one sideline and a few beer cans on the other. Of course, our measurements were very precise, using Ron Lopolis as our measuring device. The first tournament was 1954, with about 8 teams on the 4th of July weekend, 2 courts. Mike made it happen. I was a lifeguard at Old Mission Beach and on tournament day, 1956. I got a call from the captain of lifeguards. He was upset because he had a call claiming we were playing baseball on the beach. And I assured him, no, Captain, no one's playing baseball on my beach. And the tournament continued. Well, condo development signaled the end of Old Mission, and Ombak nearly faded away. Mike held it together. For 70 years, the tournament has gone on, and Mike made it happen. Yeah. Good work, brother. Yeah. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Thanks, Terry. Okay. We're going to have a little treat. Are you guys ready? This is OTL's Mariachi Band.
OTL.
Mike, Dale, and Bob. And they have come up with a song for Mike. And you know it's going to be great. I've already heard it. Yes, Mike.
As you folks know, Los Mariachis de OTL used to be Los Mariachis de OTL y Cuervo, Los Mariachis de Margaritaville, and anybody else who will give us free tequila. However, as you will notice, we were not professional musicians. However, Mike Curren was probably the biggest supporters of the mariachis. When we came out and wanted to do weird stuff, he would play our songs over the headphones and all that. It was absolutely awesome. So, a couple of weeks ago, well, actually back in January, I read Helen's tribute to Mike in the newspaper, and I was so inspired that I wrote a song under the influence of alcohol. And my teammates helped me. It's a team effort on this. I hope you guys can understand the words, because the words really fit Mike. We've only done this song twice. We're going to probably screw up the words. Hold on.
Hold on.
This is what the mariachis do.
Dale's in charge.
Let's just sing it a cappella.
Make it happen. Tequila! Yeah. W.
Oh, gotta Bluetooth it.
All right, you know what we're gonna do? We recorded it last night. We got some really cool Jimmy Buffett Miranda shit, but unfortunately, we don't know anything about computers or anything like that. So
Bluetooth.
we're just gonna do it a cappella. Well, I'm gonna strum a few chords. Okay, ready?
Get somebody's kid up there to get.
Try to listen to the words.
Good luck, Dale.
It's in the summertime. In July, it's all about over the line. But this year's a little bit different, you see.
'cause we lost a big piece of our history. We could still see him standing on the bracket board, Bacardi and Coke in his hand, no lime, taking a sip and looking real hip. An original long-back man, an original long-back man. And there was nobody quite like Mike, nobody quite like OTL. Tried and true, and everyone knew he loved all-back rugby as well. There was nobody quite like Mike, and some things won't ever change. But we all know that Beachcomber Joe has a bar stool in Mike's name. Nobody quite like Mike, nobody quite like Mike. Through and through, red, white, and blue, there was nobody quite like Mike. There was nobody quite like Mike. There was nobody quite like Mike.
Thank you, man. Amazing.
Oh, there goes the words.
Tomorrow we'll be out here.
Okay. Everybody knows what Mike Curren thought of Overline. Well, I think his second love was the track.
Opening day.
He knew the track. Trust me. He knew the horses and did well, and he was amazing. I got J.D. Dahlin here, owner of Bullies East and Old Town Mex, longtime horse racing buddy of Mike. And JD can't tell you all the stories, but he can say some nice things about Mike.
Well, first of all, thank you everybody for being here. And I know everybody's drinking rum and Coke, because that's what Mike will be drinking. And when Terry started talking about OTL, and when I first got involved, I'm a little younger than Terry and the boys. And so when I got to the beach in 1958, South Mission Beach, the Currens were there, and everybody was moving down from the North Mission. And when Terry said there was tin cans making lines, well, we had seaweed making lines. So we were a little better than they were up in the northern part. But Mike always wanted to play cards. Not just the horses, play cards. And he would play Fan-Tan on the beach. And so here I am, fresh out of the service, figuring I can gamble a little bit with the big boys. And so I get in a few card games, and I could do quite well with some of the people. But then at the end of the day, Mike read me like a book. And so at the end of the day, I reach in my pocket, there's nothing there. And Mike has this little saying, "Thank you, chump." And he said it quite a few times to me at different times. We're at the racetrack, and we're all betting on one horse. We love the horse. Everybody loved the horse. And it just gets necked out. And Mike looks over at us and says, "Mike, what'd you bet on?" He goes, "The winner." "Thank you, chumps." And I heard that quite frequently from Mike. And so over the years, now this is the first year in about 40 years that Mike won't be with us at the racetrack. But he will be with us. We have Jamie and Terry will be with us. And I know that I'm going to be beat out by one of these damn Currens on the horse that I bet on. Because that luck that he has, it wasn't just, he was skilled, very skilled at the racetrack. He used to go down to Caliente. And when they had their horses down there, he'd gamble there, then come down bar and gamble there. And he did quite well. But over the years, I got to know Mike. And like I said, since 1958, I walked in the Beachcomber in the early days, and there was a little problem. I didn't know the local guys very well. And there was a problem going on at the pool table. And so I decided to help him a little bit, and I took a gentleman outside, had a discussion, and came back inside, and I got from Mike, "Thank you, chump." So I had a lot of thank you chumps from him over the years, And so my last saying is, Mike, thank you, chump.
Thanks, Edie. Okay, we're getting close. We got the lovely Helen Duffy. Duffy knows Curren better than any of us.
Well, or as my dear friend Jaybird would say, well.